How to go from struggling to closing consistent web leads. So this video is for people who have bought web leads in the past or generated them on their own using Facebook, Instagram, any other social media platform. And it's for people looking for solutions instead of blaming external factors like different ad platforms or vendors for their lack of performance. When in actuality, you got to take a bit of responsibility, because the truth is, in order to get the results you're looking for from online leads, not only must you be receiving quality, which sometimes you don't have direct control over since you're not running the ads or whatever the case, if you're buying them, but you also must be doing everything in your power to make sure that your leads actually convert. So it's a 50-50 relationship between the vendor or the platform that's generating your leads and you actually doing what's necessary to actually convert. So in this video, I'm gonna go over what you can do to actually increase your close rate based off of what I've seen in the space, right? So let's get into it. So here's a problem. The problem is the unrealistic expectations that I've seen from different business owners, right? And that is the expectation that web leads should perform like referrals. And that couldn't be even further from the truth, right? And that's killing business owners. And that's because our expectations, it influences our actions, right? So if you expect your web leads to close at the same rate as your referrals, right, you're not going to take the necessary actions that it takes to actually convert a web lead. Because let's be honest, closing a referral is easy, right? You don't really need to twist their arm or whatever. It's an easy process. It's because they're extremely hot, they're extremely warm, they already know, like, and trust you. Whereas a cold lead who opted in, it's a completely different process, right? And so if you expect your leads from the web to close at 75% chance, you're going to be extremely disappointed, right? Because your results are going to suck because you're not doing what it takes to actually close these cold leads. It is going to be harder, okay? Nobody's going to lie about that. It's harder to close web leads, but the value in that is you can scale pretty much infinitely, right? So let's get into that. You see, in reality, when you're dealing with web leads, it's always going to be a numbers game, okay? You're dealing with the warmest of the cold marketplace. And so let's get into realistic close rates, because I know that's pretty much going to be the next question that you're wondering. And so there's not really a concrete answer. There's so many different variables, right? And so that could be depending on the quality of the ads, what type of people you're bringing in. Are you saying, yeah, do you want a free loan? Anyone qualifies. All you need is a 400 credit score. Yeah, you're going to get a bunch of leads, but you'll never convert any of them, right? So what type of ads what type of people are you bringing into your ecosphere? That's important, right? The lead source. A Google ad is oftentimes, it could be a stronger lead than a Facebook, right? It depends. And sometimes Facebook might be better than a Google one. It depends on the offer, the qualification. Are you getting rid of the tire kickers with your questions? Exclusivity. Are your leads exclusive? Or are you competing with 100 people, right? The age of the lead. Are you buying age leads? How old is it when this person opted in? Is this person even still alive? The speed to lead. How quick are you getting to this lead, right? The price. If you're closing somebody on like a 20K deal for like a remodeling service, right, your close rate's going to be a little lower than somebody that's like trying to clean their gutter. You see, the offer, that's the offer, your sales skills, follow-up process, all of this dictates your close rate. There's so many different variables, you see, but in general, just to give you an answer, you should expect about a 5 to 12 close rate on average. And how to increase your close rate, right? And so these are the top 3 things: your speed to lead, your systemized follow-up process, and email and SMS nurturing, providing value, not just saying, hey, did you opt in or whatever the case? Hey, did you get a time to speak with us? No, they're just gonna ignore you because you're not really giving them an incentive to want to speak with you. And so let's speak about like speed to lead. And so to close deals, you must call your leads ASAP. It's self-explanatory. It's the little things. And here's why. 78% of B2B customers purchase from businesses that respond first, right? Especially if it's something that they need ASAP. right? If somebody's like they have a plumbing issue, they're gonna go with whoever respond as soon as possible because they don't want their bathroom to flood, right? Responding within the first minute increases the lead conversion by 391%. Right after 5 minutes, the odds of qualifying a lead actually drops by over 80%. So if you're consistently missing out on your leads after 5 minutes, just think about how much money you're leaving on the table. Right? You have to be disciplined and have the systems in place to be able to answer as soon as possible, because that's when they're the hardest. Otherwise, they might change their mind, like, hey, I don't really need this anymore. Right? Maybe I can figure it out tomorrow. And then you're calling and they're just not picking up. Right? If you're calling within 5 minutes, they're on their phone, they're not working, you can give them a call. Right? And shockingly, the average B2B business speed to lead is 42 hours. So just think about the competition. There's not much competition because they're not doing what it takes to actually convert leads. So if you do that, you're going to win and steal the marketplace. So that's what we can do. And only about like 27% of leads ever get contacted. And these are all this is all data driven, right? Like these are all links to the studies. See, this is like Forbes right here. I'm not just talking out my ass, right? This is a problem. Less than 25% of companies actually call their leads, right? Right, so there's not much competition there. And so how to actually boost your speed to lead. So there's a few things that you can do to actually boost your speed to lead. And that's two things, right? You might be a busy business owner and unable to do it yourself consistently. So there's AI dialers, right? There's AI dialers that you can actually buy, and they sound human-like, and they can actually book appointments and call them as soon as possible. They can't clock out because they're sick, because it's AI. It works pretty good. And so when they book the appointment, that you're not leaving people or that could be prospects on the table. And the second thing is virtual assistants. If you don't want to do like something AI or whatever, you can just hire a VA overseas or for like a couple bucks an hour. 4 hours, sometimes $3 an hour. Right? Find somebody with a good work ethic, that understands English, speaks very clearly, and you won't be missing out on leads. And that dollar, like the $4 or $5 that you're spending, right? The ROI is there. So that's just a few things you can do. And then a systemized follow-up process. So you need to have a systemized follow-up process that you can do day in and day out consistently. It has to be systemized. I've spoken to a lot of people. They say, we do follow-ups. We're really good at that. And then I ask them about what they do, and the cracks are there. They don't really have a system. They don't have a process. They just do what they feel is right, and they're upset that the results are, they're not there. Right? So if you're not doing what's necessary to actually convert leads, it's on you. And so what you need to do is have a CRM, right, where you can actually organize where each lead is in your pipeline, right? And each stage right? So if they're a new lead, you should be able to have that in their CRM. If they're in follow-up process day 1, you can have that, right? If they're in like the next week, right, you can do that as well, right? Wherever they are in your pipeline, you should be able to have different SMS messages, emails, and phone calls, right, in order to actually warm them up and get them to the close. That's what it takes to actually convert leads, right? You need automated text, emails, and a process for calling. Yeah, and you need to call multiple times a day, right? You gotta be firing them, right? Multiple times a day, 2 to 3 times a day. Right? Especially in the beginning. Sometimes a little later you can be a little less, call a little less times, but in those first 3-4 week, you should be calling them ASAP and multiple times. Okay, and then the next thing is when you're actually sending them information, you should be providing value. Provide them with value instead of just hammering them with, hey, did you book a time to speak with us? No, they didn't. And there's a reason why they didn't. Maybe they don't trust you. Maybe they don't know you. And there's a lot of reasons why. And so what you should focus on is providing value. That way that they see a reason why they want to connect with you. They trust you and they know that you can deliver. And that's what providing value does. That's what I'm doing with these videos, by the way. Just providing value. You're going to see me as an expert and you're going to buy from me. And so that's how we do it. And what you can do, right, is handle their objections and concerns, right? And so there's a reason why they maybe are a little standoffish. And so what you can do is send them material, right? Qualified leads don't buy because of their objections and concerns, right? You need to be preventative and handle these objections by sending them content, depending on whatever your offer is, okay? And so let's say I was a real estate agent and I was looking for seller leads. What you can do is provide them with information about, the process that you're going to be taking them, right? A to Z, right? Give them some material that can prevent them from getting scammed. Things like that. They're going to trust you because of that. The level of reciprocity is going to make them want to work with you afterwards. That's something that we can focus on, okay? And then something that's very important is providing case studies. Because otherwise, who are you? People buy from people that they feel like has done this 100 times. They've done this thousands of times. And when you're providing them with case studies, they begin to believe that you can be that person. And so that's something that you should focus on. People are going to be skeptical, but with the case studies showing how you sent somebody from their situation, right, to their new desired situation, right, that's going to make them want to work with you. And that's something that you should be sending them. It's all about value. And then the next thing that you can do is, there's going to be a few duds. There's going to be people that don't convert. Some people might not even respond. That's part of the game. It's a numbers game. You got to love it. This database reactivation strategy should be able to recoup about 3% monthly. And so what you need to do is have an offer. And what I like to do is, let's get into it. You identify your inactive leads. So in your database, you should have a segment or a different stage for people who are inactive, or people that weren't ready, or people that just didn't convert, didn't respond, right? And then you need to have targeted campaigns. You need to continue to feed them with value and content, right? Targeted campaigns over time, because they may not be ready at this moment. But when they are, they're going to go to you. Right? Maybe they were ready to go solar right now, but give it a few months. They already opted in, so there's some interest. Maybe their finances weren't good. Right? Continue to stay top of mind by sending them content, and sooner or later, they're going to work with you. Right? It's like they begin to have like a relationship with you over time. And all of this can be automated. Right? Then you send them campaigns, and then boom, you send them offers monthly. You send them monthly offers, and sooner or later you'll get, what I've seen is you should recoup about like 3% monthly, depending on your list size and your offer, okay? Because the need is still there. Yeah, so that's the entire video. If you like what you saw, I'm gonna be posting more videos consistently on this. Just like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.